The night the sky burned orange over Mexico City, Aurelio Casillas learned that power always comes with a price. Sirens echoed in the distance, helicopters cut the air like angry blades, and inside a quiet penthouse, a single choice would change the course of many lives. Aurelio stood at the window, not afraid, but alert, feeling the weight of every step that had brought him here. In that moment, desire, ambition, loyalty, and betrayal all collided behind closed doors. Aurelio was a man who ruled the skies and the streets below them. To his enemies, he was ruthless. To his allies, irresistible. To the women who crossed his path, he was danger wrapped in charm. Yet beneath the tailored suits and fearless smile lived a man haunted by loss and driven by the need to control a world that had never shown him mercy. Season 3 of his life was not about building an empire anymore, but about surviving it. Monica Robles was the first challenge to shake his certainty. Strong, intelligent, and carrying secrets of her own, she was not impressed by Aurelio's reputation. Their connection was intense from the beginning, charged with unspoken attraction and mutual respect. Every conversation felt like a duel, every glance a silent promise. But loving Aurelio meant standing in the line of fire. Monica struggled between her duty, her heart, and the fear that one wrong step could cost her everything. As Aurelio expanded his operations, enemies closed in from all sides. Old alliances weakened, new rivals rose, and the pressure never stopped. Each victory came with blood, each mistake with consequences. In private moments, Aurelio allowed himself to be human. He questioned his choices, remembered the people he had lost, and wondered whether power was worth the loneliness that followed him everywhere. Aurelio Casillas, his daughter, faced her own battles. Growing up in her father's shadow was never easy. She carried his fire, but also his pain. Her relationships were intense, passionate, and often destructive, mirroring the world she was raised in. Aurelio wanted love, but love in her family came mixed with fear and control. Her challenge was breaking free without betraying the blood that defined her. One of the most dangerous moments came when betrayal struck from within. A trusted ally sold information, leading to a deadly ambush. Aurelio survived, but the message was clear. The walls were closing in. In the aftermath, emotions ran high. The tension between Aurelio and Monica reached a breaking point. In a quiet room, far from the chaos, they confronted the truth. They were drawn to each other, not because it was safe, but because it was real. Their closeness was intense, filled with longing, frustration, and the understanding that tomorrow was never guaranteed. Another challenge arrived with the authorities tightening their grip. Plans had to change overnight. Escapes were improvised, loyalties tested. Aurelio learned that brute force was no longer enough. He had to think ahead, trust selectively, and accept that even the most powerful man could not control everything. This realization marked a turning point. Instead of reacting, he began to calculate, to protect those who mattered instead of using them as shields. The emotional cost of this life became impossible to ignore. Loss followed loss, and victories felt empty. In one quiet dawn, Aurelio stood alone on a runway, watching a plane disappear into the clouds. For the first time, he admitted that ruling the skies did not mean owning his fate. That moment of clarity did not make him weaker. It made him wiser. By the end, the story was no longer just about heated moments, dangerous attraction, or power plays. It was about choice. Monica chose her integrity. Aurelio chose her independence. Aurelio chose to face the consequences of his actions with open eyes. The challenges they faced did not disappear, but they learned to confront them with courage instead of denial. The inspiring message left behind was simple but powerful. True strength is not measured by how much you dominate, but by how much truth you can carry. Love is not about possession, but about respect. And even in a world ruled by violence and desire, redemption begins the moment you take responsibility for who you are and who you choose to become. As the sky cleared and a new day rose, Aurelio Casillas knew one thing for certain. The heavens may belong to the bold, but peace belongs to those brave enough to change.